Hello everybody, my name is Douglas Bloch. I'm an author, mental health educator, and depression survivor. Welcome to your Depression Recovery channel, where each week we talk about practical tools and coping strategies for healing from depression and anxiety. The name of today's topic or video is, do you have something to look forward to? And before we start, I have to tell this interesting joke, and one of my spiritual teachers gave this one to me. One day in a very crowded bank, a man walks in, gets online and says, "Hey, did anybody drop a couple $100 bills wrapped up with a rubber band?" All the people raised their hands. He said, "Well, that's good because I just found the rubber band." All right, see, a lot of greedy people in that bank. All right, so today's topic is called, do you have something to look forward to? And this is based on actually a true story. A guy named Dave, not his real name, but we have to protect the guilty, right? He came to my group and had been going through a really difficult divorce. He was, remember I said in one of my videos, the number one cause of depression is loss of love. And this was true. He was really laid low. But over time, he gradually clawed his way back and made recovery. And there was one particular technique that he used that I want to share with you. So here was the tool that Dave used. In his words, I always made sure I had something to look forward to. That way, when I got up in the morning and I didn't want to get out of bed, I saw something on the horizon that was going to happen, maybe today, the next day. And that got me out of bed and it allowed me to face the day. I said, well, what type of things did you look forward to? He said, a number of things. One time I looked forward to going to the coast with my family. Another time I looked forward to seeing my girls' soccer game. Another time I looked forward to seeing a movie I wanted to see. There was always something just ahead of me that made me want to get up and take the next step. As I pondered David's strategy, I realized that it had a lot of wisdom, because one of the things about depression is we feel hopeless and life seems pointless. Why bother, we ask? Well, one way around this why bother attitude is to go ahead and plan something for the future down the line, because we get out of bed because we want to reach that thing, you see. And the anticipation of getting there actually releases dopamine in the brain. That's the pleasure chemical. So for example, last year I went to see my brother. Hadn't seen him in years in New York. We had a great time, saw a lot of sights, including the 9/11 memorial. And now Joan and I are going to go back in the fall. And just thinking about that makes me happy. So again, anticipation of positive things in the future changes your brain chemistry. A few months ago, I saw an amazing off-Broadway play called Every Brilliant Thing. It's by an Irish playwright. It's a one-man play. It's very simple. There's a 10-year-old boy whose mother attempts suicide, and in order to cheer the mother up, he decides to create a list of every brilliant thing that makes life worth living. Number one on the list was ice cream. And he started listing one thing after the other, and by the time he knew it, there were 100,000 things on the list. And in the play, different members of the audience get a card, and he calls out number two, and someone will say, waiting in the water, and it's an amazing play. Anyway, what happened was he had originally made this list for his mother, but as he got older, he inherited or manifested the same depressive illness that she did, and he used the list not to cheer her up, but to cheer himself up, that he could look forward to the things on the list. And it was a really good strategy for his own mental health. Of course, there's a caveat to all this, because when you're severely depressed, not just moderately or mildly, but severely depressed, it's hard to think of anything that's enjoyable. So it's hard to see anything enjoyable that you can plan for in the future. In this case, try to think of tiny, tiny distractions that you can plan for that will help you take you out of the pain, at least for the time being. Fortunately, in my depressive episode, it always seemed that my sadness and my depression seemed to resolve in the evening. I think this happens for a lot of people. Worse in the morning, better at night. So every day, no matter how anxious, how depressed, how crazy I was feeling, I could always look forward to that 1 or 2 hours maybe in the night when at least I could feel sane. Of course, the next day, it was all over again. It was Groundhog Day, right? But then I would look forward to the night, and the day would be hell, and look forward to the night. And then one day, the day wasn't hell, and I was released from the prison. So my advice to you viewers would be to do this. Start a list. Anytime you think of something that might be enjoyable, even if it's a tiny thing like taking a walk in the woods or going to the ocean or seeing a friend, write it down and then plan it for some future date. 2 weeks from now, 2 days from now, whatever, just sometime in the future. Then if you wake up in the morning and you think, oh my God, life is not worth living, what am I doing here? You could then recall, oh no, I have this little, event coming up, and I'm looking forward to it. And that little extra bit of pleasure or endorphins can get you out of bed and allow you to go through the day. So even in the midst of the darkness, you can plan for little points of light down the road. This has been Douglas Bloch. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it. If you did so, please give it a like. You can also leave your comments in the comments section. By the way, I really appreciate the wonderful comments you guys leave. It really makes my day to read them. And if you want to subscribe to this channel, just click on my photo during the credits and you'll be taken to the page. If you click on the bell to the right of the subscribe button, you'll be notified every time I do a new live chat or a new video. If you want to learn about mental health coaching, you'll see a link coming on the screen describing that service. And if you want to contribute to this channel and become a monthly sustaining member, click on the Patreon link. And until we meet again, I wish you the best in your mental health recovery. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you next week.